All right, welcome Dynasty Royale people for a draft recap. We started this in the middle of the season, as you could tell. Week 12 does not count for this league, so we got week 13, which starts January 10th. So here we have 12 teams. This is the first time I'm in the basketball league with 12 teams. Um, I mean, in a dynasty league, obviously we have 12 teams in the football dynasty, but in a dynasty league for basketball, I mean, I wouldn't mind if there's 10 teams. And for next season, I feel like right now, even though it's a shortened season and I see that you're inactive, I will not be hesitant to replace you, even if it's a dynasty league. All right. It's a short season. You should be able to keep up. All right. If you can't keep up with a short season, then ain't no way you're going to be in this league next year. All right. This is a dynasty league. I want competitive people. I want active people. Obviously, you don't have to be active every day. I mean, it's a simple process actually for people. I need to tell you about this. So when you have a player that's got the INJ tag, you should be able to process. I can't do it right now, but so I can put it's different on the phone, obviously, but you should be able to click on the player that has the INJ tag and push the IL. So that's an injury spot. And that gives you an open roster spot to where you are able to pick up whoever on the waiver wire, which is the player's roster thing. But this week does not count for pickups, so I recommend you do it before Monday. Um, so just put your if you have more than four players, obviously who are injured, then you can't really do nothing about it. And I wouldn't recommend dropping them because it's a dynasty league and they matter long term, not just this season. So make sure you just put them on the IL, or if you have more than four players, then you're just gonna have to ride out and hope they come back by Monday, or whatever. But if there's that, so make sure you store your injured players. If it's out, you can't put them on the IL. It's only if they have the INJ thing. Um, if you are inactive this season, I will not be hesitant to. I feel like there will be some, and I don't know. I have a feeling there will be some inactives. I'm hoping there will only be two inactives. I get lucky. There's two inactives. We can trim the league to 10 teams. So, and I'm gonna explain this first before I do the draft recap. I'll try to put timestamps down for your if you just want to watch your team. I don't really care if you want to watch anyone else's. Let's say Trae Young's a bitch is inactive. So I see that he hasn't made any moves. I mean, clearly his injured players are not on the IL. He doesn't do this at all this season. I think I can just delete his team before draft, and then his players will be in the draft for next year. So that will also take effect on how many keepers we're gonna have for next year. I do not know how many keepers we'll have because I don't know how many roster spots, and it just also depends on how many teams we have next year. So, and then the rookies are coming. So, I mean, I don't know if there's any good rookies this year for basketball. I feel like there's a couple, but that's it. But yeah, I mean, I will not be hesitant to drop anyone. Um, I feel like in a dynasty league, you want active people, so obviously it'd be also pretty cool to get more people or get more players on my team who are pretty good. So if there is 10 teams next year, then that'd be pretty good. But let's do a draft recap right now. Um, I'll try my best to do timestamps. Let's see who had the first pick. Alrighty. Jack had the first pick. Okay, Detroit Red Wings. So first pick obviously is probably he said this before. It's honestly not a very good pick to have because you really don't like you get the best fantasy player in Yahoo or in fantasy, but it takes a while for you to take your next pick. And I think he took who did he take? I think he took Murray and then Brown. Um, shit. Let me look up the. Who did he take Murray and Brown over? Now I know who he fucked up over because I actually know how they are. He took Brown. Oh wait, that's the wrong league. Hold on. Let's see, Jack. Yeah, he took Brown. I mean, Murray's an excellent pick. Murray, I said that Murray was gonna have a breakout season this year, and he's doing that. So he took Brown over Anthony Edwards, Van Vliet, Ingram. Let's say Miles Bridges is up there. I don't know about LeBron or Anthony Davis. I feel like they're still a little old. Or Anthony Davis is like 28, but LeBron obviously is 30 fucking seven. He's this like the third best fantasy player in the league. So obviously, I mean, it's going to be tempting to take him. I'm surprised he went third round. Obviously, the people who know the expectation for a dynasty league took young players very early, and that's really the point, a whole point of it. But I mean, Jack overall, I mean, I'm just gonna look at his team, I guess. I mean, Holiday, that was a probably. I think he had a panic pick for that. Holiday in the fourth round. I guess that's your last. I mean, I guess I don't know, man. I mean, over Mobley and Barnes, um, D'Angelo Russell, who's younger than Holiday, but Holiday has been doing pretty good this season, so it makes sense. But he is also very old. Um, I mean, Jack's team later on in the rounds. Oh, we got Dinwiddie. That's funny. He's been having a really bad year this year. I didn't expect him to have this bad of a year. Wiseman, he did get Wiseman for a good stash. He got Giddy. So he's got a young player, Giddy, Murray, Cole Anthony, RJ Barrett, Wagner. Anthony Simons, I don't think would be a good player long term, I guess. I wouldn't know. Aaron Wiggins, probably not the best to have long term since everyone on the Thunder who would be good for long term is already doing good. And they have more draft picks. So they're gonna be trying to draft more players. So I don't think Aaron Wiggins is a good player long term. Um, I'd probably give Jack's team like a C plus. I don't think there's anything for me to worry about if I was to play against them. But yeah, that's his team. So, C plus. Dylan had the second pick. So let's go to Dylan's team. Dylan did take the initiative to. I mean, Jack with the first pick. Jokic is, I think, 26. So he's still on the young side, but Dylan easily got a 22-year-old and Luka Doncic. Obviously, he's a young player. I think he's pretty much on the young side. He got De'Aaron Fox. Um, he's got these two New York Knicks players. Obviously, just for now, he's probably not gonna want them long term. Siakam, who's 27. Mobley's a rookie. Reddish is young, but he's much on the stack team. Norman Powell, I think he's like, I don't know how old he is, like 27, 28, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little, I don't know. I don't know. Zion probably will not play this year due to the fact that I don't know what's going on with him. Aiden, he's like 24, 25. He's young, but Dylan's definitely got a young team. I think this team is better than Jack's. Darius Garland, currently right now the face of the franchise for them. Um, I mean, this team's pretty good. Um, and drafting second, I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. So I'd go with a B plus for this draft. Obviously Zion. I mean, I'm doing the grading by this year. Obviously Zion is a risk. I don't know what is gonna go on with him. I don't even know if he'll even play again. So I mean, it was a big risk taking Zion. That's why he was taken in the seventh round. I mean, in the other league, he was taken in the second. But Who knows about Zion, I guess. But yeah, Dylan, your team's pretty good. I think a B plus is a good grade for you. All right, Nick, you had the third pick. Where's your team? All right. So Nick took Giannis. Obviously, it was clear if Jack took Luca, Dylan was going to take Jokic. Yeah, it's clear that, or either way, whoever took who, Giannis would be the third pick. If he wasn't taken first or second, he would be the third. So that's an excellent pick. He's been balling this year. He averages the second most fantasy points currently this season. Um, so he has a mix of young and win now players. Obviously, Clay is going to turn 30 soon. Ingram is still relatively young. Randall's 27. Sabonis is 25. Lowry's like 35. He's old. I wouldn't be surprised if he retired soon. Um, oh, this guy has yet to play in like 2 years, I think. I don't even know. Like, I don't think he'll be good when he comes back. Clay Thompson, obviously, we don't know how long or how good he'll be when he comes back. I mean, obviously he's a shooter and he's been working out a lot lately, so his shooting might be good. But it's been 2 years. We don't know how aggressive he'll be. He's got a rookie in Jalen Green. Diallo. See, the thing is about the Pistons is that they only have a few people that are actually going to do good, and Diallo was only going to do good when Cade and like everyone else was out. So, and Sadiq Bey was up there too with Diallo for carrying the squad. And as you see now, he's starting to struggle. But Sabonis, Randall, Giannis, you got Ingram, Kyle Anderson. I don't like. You have some injured people, so you could probably put them on the IL. You don't have to do it now, but if you want some free pickups, then I recommend doing that. Obviously, the waiver wire is a little thin right now because we have 12 teams and a lot of people have injured players, so they pick up more people. I mean, yeah, it happens, but if you're going to keep up in this league, I mean, this league is going to be competitive. All the leagues I have are going to be competitive. So if it's not easy for you, then you don't have to be in it next year. All right. Well, I'll just release all your players out in the draft pool, and yeah, I mean, it'd be fun. But I mean, this draft is pretty good. I feel like I mean there are some holes. I mean, let's see who's you Ingram in the third round. Yeah, he's young. I mean, yeah, Lowry Markkinen. Yeah, this pick is not that good. Right there, not a good pick. I guess later on in the drafts they were thin, but I think overall I'd probably give this like a B minus. I'd probably give it a B minus. But you had some very solid big men, and they're going to be the reason why your team is going to be good. And then Ingram, obviously, but Lowry's he's been average. But yeah, I think a B minus would be good for your team. Um, let's see who's the next person. Lucas. You had the fourth pick. Took Tatum. That's another smart pick. He had a great game today against the Knicks. Sorry, guys. I know some of you are Knicks fans, so Tatum really went off. But they lost. Holy shit. They lost. Okay, Celtics lost. Knicks won. So I guess it doesn't matter for Knicks fans. Um, Clearly you went on the young side. I mean, overall your draft is very good. I don't know about Jonathan Kaminga or Marvin Bagley or Duncan Robinson. Jalen Brunson's good when Luka's hurt, but he's been good for a filler role. Isaac, we don't know how good he'll be when he comes back. Smart, Carter Jr., Wiggins, Porter Jr., Barnes, Wood. Vucevic is he's like 30 something, but he's still good. Mitchell, he's like 25, 26, still good. Tatum is 24, I think. but he's been very good this season, and he'll be good for a long time. So your team is really pretty much built to be a good dynasty team. Obviously, your last few picks were just picks. Um, if there are 10 teams next year, obviously they won't be keepers. So, but yeah, I mean, you probably could put him on the IL because he won't be coming back anytime soon. So make sure you fill up your IL spots and do your pickups because, you know, you're going to regret wasting ads next week if you do your swapping then. But overall, this draft is pretty good. I'll give it an A minus. Um, I feel like this team will be good for a while, so I'd be scared of him. A minus is a good grade for you. All right, picked fifth was me, Melo's team. Obviously, with my outlook, I could have had Trey Young, Curry, Harden, Durant. I could have gone with the 50-point average fantasy players, but I wanted a LaMelo. I wanted a player who was like young, and I mean Trey Young, yeah, would have been a good guy to have, but I wanted LaMelo is. I mean, he's a very good point guard. He averages almost the same as Trey Young, and he's 3 years younger. So I wanted someone, and I always like LaMelo's game. LaMelo is one of my favorite players now on the Lakers. So obviously, I wanted to build my team around him, and I got Anthony Edwards in this. Oh no, actually, I traded my second round pick to JP for another first. So I got Embiid. So that is that is a 50-point fantasy player currently. So I did get Embiid, and then I got D'Angelo Russell for my fourth. So I feel like another good player to have. He's 25, still young. He's on a good team. So of course I do have teammates. I have a lot of teammates. I don't like that, but I mean they're the good players on the team. So I mean it wouldn't really matter. But obviously I was on the young side. Um, drafting Anthony Edwards, Jared Allen, Kyle Kuzma, who are all below 27. Rozier, he is 27. Bane is 23. Murray is 24. He'll be back. I mean, if he is back this year, it'd be cool and all, but that next year definitely. Kawhi Leonard obviously would be a good pick. It was a good weight draft pick to have. Schroeder might be my one and done. Hart, relatively still young. Um, he might have he's gonna have a good role this year. So I just want to check out and see with him. And then Clarkson, he's 29. I mean, I feel like this is a good draft, but I don't know if they'll be good, like a strong this year. So I don't think they're gonna win now. They're more in like they're gonna be they're contenders, but um, they're very beatable. That's what I think until they get Kawhi and Jamal, but that won't be till next year. So I think uh it's I really did do it for like a dynasty style type thing. So I think like an A minus is pretty good for the league or for this draft. Um, I could have had probably better players, but I feel like the draft is very swell. You know, sixth pick was Austin. I think he auto drafted like half his draft. But he did. I mean, how old is Ben Simmons? He did auto draft, so his like last 5, 6 rounds were kind of ruined because I would drop all of those players. I mean, I guess you can keep like, oh my god, dude. This is why you can't really auto draft because you're just gonna draft the first available player, and it's not usually if it's the first available player, that means he's not gonna be taken because it's too early. So he drafted Paul George in the second round. It was not a good pick. Curry, obviously, I understand he's still good, even though he's like 31. I think LeBron, obviously, you're in win now mode, but your win now players are injured, so there's no guarantees that you actually win this year. But you still have good players up here. Ben's not gonna play probably till next year. Covington, not he's not been a good fantasy player, and your bench is not. I mean, I don't know. They're waiver wire players, but over here is very excellent. Like one if CJ and Paul George come back, it'd be very scary. Like I'd be scared of this team. But right now your team's a very injury riddled. So I don't know how who knows what happened with you. But yeah, I mean I really think your last few rounds hurt you, but the grade would be a B. I think a B is a very good grade for your team. All right, seventh pick is Keith. Keith was busy. He apparently had a family emergency, so he auto drafted a lot. But his auto draft was not that bad compared to Austin's. I think Austin just got unlucky. I mean, Boyan is pretty good. Mitchell Robinson, not so much. Kimball Walker, eh. TJ McConnell, I would drop. Larry Nance, he's like very inconsistent. Mikel Bridges in the seventh round was not a good pick. That was also an all draft. You got Chris Stapps, you got Clint Capella. You are oh my god, I didn't even notice this. You have a lot of centers. You if you want, I recommend probably trading them for someone else. But you do have Harden, Towns, and Davis. That is a very scary trio. And that's not even including Gobert, Capella, and Porzingis. It's a very winnable team. It's a very good team. If you could, obviously, you have 4 IL spots. So if you put that to use and get better players, like I don't think Robinson's a good player to keep on your team, even though he's a Nick Keith. He's not very good fantasy wise. Colin Sexton's out for the whole year. Put him on your IL. Kemba, I feel like he have that type of year or type of games unless the whole team's gone. But make sure you fill your IL spots. But your draft, I think, was pretty good. I'd say I'd probably say B plus is your grade. Your last few picks were better overall compared to Austin's. It was better auto drafting than Austin was. I think you queued players too. I don't know. But yeah, your team is not bad when healthy. All right. Eighth pick was Blake. Um Blake had like a very good mix of young and old. Like he literally drafted how you would in a dynasty league. Like, yeah, Kevin Durant's available. I'd go for him too. Like, honestly, I was hoping that some of y'all didn't really want the win now players and they would go later on. But Kevin Durant is excellent. I mean, LeBron went third round and he's doing better than Kevin Durant. But I guess I don't know. I feel like it's obviously because LeBron is 4 years older than Kevin Durant. So I mean, I guess it makes sense to have Braun go later. But overall, this team is a very good mix of young and old players. Like obviously Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Fred VanVleet is 27. Devin Booker is 25. Lonzo, I think, is 24. 24. I think he's a year older than D'Angelo. Jackson, he's still relatively young. He's Beef Stew is young. Nikhil is young. Devontae Graham, I think he's like 26, 20. I don't know how old he is. But yeah, like your team's good. Malik Beasley, I feel like if he goes to another team, he'd be really good. But right now in Minnesota, it's not a good team. It's not a good fit for him because it's just too compact and the league takes the hit for that. But overall, this team's really good. I think you drafted very well. Right now, Beef Stew does not have the opportunities this year or currently. Maybe later on in the year, he might have a better opportunity. But I feel like this team is very good. I think an A. Oh, well, okay, well, an A is good, but drop Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is not a good fantasy player. He shouldn't be on a fantasy team. Drop him, get another player, and you're golden. So yeah, A is very good. Um, good job, Blake. Ninth pick would be Brad. All right, Brad ended up with Trey Young. Bro, what are you doing? Um, obviously, everyone thought that. Some people thought that Trey Young would be top three because he's been very good this year and he's really young, so it would make sense for him to go top three. But he ended up in ninth. So he did get shy in the second round. Uh, Tyrese in third. Yeah, I mean he's got young players, and then Brogdon, Valanciunas, who are on the older side, and then his last few picks are, except for Kevin Love. Kevin Love's been really good this year. I feel like wherever he goes, I think his contract ends next season. So wherever he or this season, so wherever he goes, he'll be a very good fantasy player still. Um, wow, it seems like Herbert Jones still go play even with Ingram. Interesting. Okay. I feel like this team's good. Yard seven is not going to be good yet when Bam comes back. So Terrence Main, Patty Mills. We don't know about that. Did you get Jalen Suggs? You got Mo Bamba, Chris Durante. Yeah, that's a good insurance pick to have if Lover, Brogdon, and Sabonis are traded. Overall, I feel like this team's pretty good. I feel like it's a good B, a solid B. So I mean, it's not bad. 10th pick was Isaac. So I can tell that Isaac's very new to fantasy. I feel like Isaac just got the top player because I remember Russ. Was Russ in the top spot? I don't remember. But Russ was taken very early, especially in how he is this year. I think it was kind of obvious that Russ shouldn't have gone in the top 5 rounds, but he took taken in the first. Damian Lillard had an off year. He's 31, taking the second. Jimmy Butler, he's like 31, taking the third. Michael Porter Jr. should be your guy to build off of. But obviously, he's out for this year. Fill your injured spots. You'll be good to go. Um, Patrick Williams is out for the year. I feel like you auto drafted him. Al Horford is a good player to have. Oh, he didn't do it though. Al Horford's a good player to have. Bogdan cut. Derek White, another good player to have. Robert Williams, good player to have long term. Tobias Harris is all right. He's not bad. I feel like C plus or C. I'm gonna go with C. Um, is good for your team. I don't think you. I don't know about you have being a playoff contender, but I don't know. I mean, just put your injured players in the IL spots and find some. I don't mean there's not really good waiver players out there, but just find some players. Just check their recent games and see if you can find someone. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very hard to find good waiver players. So you get to see. So 11th is Jacob. So Jacob traded his first round pick to me, and he got John Morant and Kate Cunningham in that trade. Um, I think John Morant has had a very excellent season this year. Um, I feel like it's an excellent player. He's like 22 too, so I mean, come on now. I wouldn't. That's a good, excellent player to build around. You also got Bam, who's also young. Obviously, this year he's been riddled with injuries. John Collins is another good player. Miles Turner, Cade Cunningham. You got your future set. Jordan Poole, Karis LeVert, Sadiq Bey. If Jeremy Grant leaves, Sadiq Bey is that player. Harrison Barnes, I feel like now he's at his last part. I don't know how good, much longer he'll. I don't know how much longer he'll be good. Tyrese Maxey, not bad. He's doing good this year, but you don't really know how long they'll be. I feel like I think him and Ben Simmons have the same agent. I think I remember seeing something that they're gonna get traded together. So wherever Ben goes, Tyrese goes. Um, Keldon has been, I don't know. I feel like he's very much underperformed. Um, it's very disappointing. Kelly Oubre is, I don't know how, but he's just very inconsistent. But on a stacked Hornets team, I guess, because that team can be very injury prone. I guess Rozier, Hayward. I don't know about LaMelo being injury prone, but Oubre is a good insurance pick. Dylan Brooks, that's actually a really good late pick. Wow. Okay. And Steven Adams, I wouldn't. I mean, I guess compared to the people in the waivers, I guess it makes sense to have him. But yeah, I mean, overall, your team's pretty good. I'd give it an A. I don't think anyone has deserved an A plus yet, but an A is a very good grade for your team and an excellent trade. I feel like the players that you wanted, was worked out very well with your team with that trade. All right, so the last pick was Vineel. Um, I feel like he went with a mix as well with the young and old. Bradley Beal is like 29, but he's doing very good this year. Zach Levine is 26 or 25, but he's also very good fantasy wise. Chris Paul is 2 years maximum, probably 2 years max, but he is still very good at fantasy wise. All right, still very good. Chris Middleton, Giannis's shadow is obviously he's good when Giannis is out, but he can be very injury prone and inconsistent when Giannis is healthy. Jamon Green has been very good. His stats are going to go up more probably when Clay comes back, but that's a good pick. Otto Porter Jr. I mean, you got him as your last pick, but I feel like there's better players out there. Jakob Portal, that's your young player right there. Gordon Hayward, he's 31. Tyler Harrow, excellent pick. He's had a really good year and you get him really late. Excellent. Mike Conley, he sits back to backs, so and he's already out. Um, I don't know about him being a long term player, but whatever. Andre Drummond, obviously that's probably an insurance thing. Oh, he did really good last game. Okay, against the Magic in 18 minutes. But yeah, I mean, if something like that can happen, I mean, man, why not? But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good team, but it's not a very good team long term. I feel like a lot of people, there's the people who know about the dynasty expectations have a good team long term, and then there's people who are new to it. But I mean, you did draft a win now team, but who knows long term how good your team's going to be when Chris Paul retires, Chris Middleton is older, and I don't know what would happen to him. Bradley Beal's, I feel like he'll be good for a while. I think B plus is good for your team. Um, yeah, yeah, B plus, B plus. But yeah, thanks for everyone for doing the draft. Who was able to do draft. You do have 12 teams. I'm not afraid to make it 10 next year. Make sure you're active. Put your injured players in the IL spots. Um, for fantasy, for Yahoo, how they do it. So you're gonna go to the Yahoo and your team. All right. So this every Monday. Let me just go to Monday. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't work for that. Monday, January 10th, when the league actually starts. There's a spot above your point guard position and it says start active players. You want to do for the whole week, and it's Yahoo starts all of your players for you. Sometimes it will bench some active games because there will be a full like stack of games. So if there's like if LaMelo is benched over Dennis Schroeder, obviously I want LaMelo playing over Dennis Schroeder, but I want Dennis Schroeder playing over Jordan Clarkson. So you have to look and like you. That's why you got to monitor it, but you don't have to be on it all the time. You know, obviously if there's not like a bunch of games playing and there's just like 4 games a day, then you don't have to worry about replacing someone. But obviously Yahoo has this easy feature where you can just start all active players and boom, it does it for you, and your projected score goes up. Um, you want a lot of points and you want to be active if you want to stay in this league. But overall, I'm glad that I had the idea to start the Dynasty League now instead of for next season because I don't want to waste a year of age. I want my talent to be right now. I want them to be um, able to play right now. So we got our team set. Obviously, there'll be more news on for the season recap, but I'm looking forward to this Dynasty League, and I hope y'all have as much fun as I do with this league because fantasy basketball is very fun. So, good luck, guys, and may the draft gods be our fantasy gods be on your side.